Orkhan, you're there in Davos and you've been giving us updates consistently. So a very momentous occasion we just witnessed there. The Board of Peace is now launched and we watched the signing ceremony as well. What can you tell us about the situation on the ground there and the atmosphere?
Hello, Dilek, and greetings to Anastasia. Indeed, today is a day of immense consequentiality. Although many critics of President Donald Trump and this particular initiative, which has been formalized, and the charter of the Board of Peace being signed at this very moment, reality is also telling that international legal order, the way we understood it before, is actually crumbling. And this particular initiative seems to be an alternative to the UN-led process, but it is not as simple as they may appear. I mean, the idea first, of course, we remember, all of us remember, and Anastasia does as well, of course, that the first way the idea was floated back in September by President Donald Trump. And then it was not so much about wider peace, not so much about the body dealing with wide range of international conflicts, but specifically designed to address the Gaza reconstruction. And that was the exact remit of the initial proposal. And when back in November 2025, UN Security Council adopted a resolution, I think, if memory serves me correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, Dilek and Anastasia, I think it was 3.8 resolution, wherein it was said that UN supports this initiative and this body will be operating before Palestinian Authority assumes its responsibilities in Gaza. But what is presented today is not simply about Gaza. Gaza is only part of the wider scheme. What President Donald Trump is saying is going to be Board of Peace, chairmaned by President Trump himself. Naturally, permanent membership will require $1 billion tax. So all the founding members are to pay this amount of money. There's a very interesting moment here. I suppose we need to reflect on it. This is happening against the backdrop of the failure of UN as an institution and a wide range of criticism levied against it. And simultaneously, this particular initiative is made at a time when President Donald Trump is talking about ending 8 wars, and actually a new model of international conflict resolution being proposed, and in many ways accepted by many countries, definitely by founding member countries. So it's a very, very consequential moment indeed. Well, a number of European countries, including France and Germany, rejected this proposal because they believe it goes against the grain of UN system, but the UN system has been in tatters for some considerable time. So perhaps this will actually be able to induce, be source of injection of some sort of entrepreneurially driven peace resolution process. I think it is worth mentioning that President Donald Trump specifically mentioned President Aliyev of Azerbaijan and Prime Minister of Armenia as his friends. Naturally, he feels incredibly invested in the Azerbaijani-Armenian peace process, which was and is a bilateral process, by the way, with the exception of course, connectivity-related matter. But that is, of course, a different matter. We can reflect upon it a bit later. But ultimately, Iran, Armenia, many other countries find themselves as part of this wide initiative. But I would like to refer our audience and you to one particular passage from the letter sent by President Trump to President Aliyev, which was later accepted by Azerbaijan. There was a specific reference to UN Security Council resolution, and Azerbaijan received this letter as UN-mandated initiative and accepted it on that basis. So Azerbaijani position, as far as my reading of the situation is concerned, is perfectly consistent with acting in line with international law and also supporting what President Donald Trump is proposing as Board of Peace. But allow me to add one more point about it, Direk, because, as I said, what was originally designed and proposed as a Gaza-related board is multidimensional now. We have proper board, where we have founding member, the heads of state and government of founding members, including Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev. We got executive board, which will be dealing with a number of issues, including, and there on the board we have Tony Blair, we have US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others. And there's a specific Gaza-related board, which will be governing and overseeing the process of Gaza reconstruction. This is something very big and absolutely consequential. And President Donald Trump is also calibrating. I think his mention of United Nations having tremendous potentiality is not particularly in line with what he's earlier said about this international organization. And I also would like specifically, Dilek, Anastasia, highlight the way Trump changes language about Greenland. If earlier he was talking about outright overtake of this island, Arctic island, now he's saying that he would not use force, he would not use excessive force, but ultimately he's believed to get he believes that the United States is poised to get what it wants to get. And my feeling is that, well, 1951 US-Denmark article and the treaty was literally giving the United States whatever they wanted, but probably they're going to have some sovereign military bases within the territory of this island without actually assuming full sovereignty over their Arctic island of Greenland. Something perhaps not so similar, but British overseas bases, military base in Cyprus, I think is a very good example how you can actually maintain security and protect yourself without assuming full sovereignty. It's an evolving situation, Dilek and Anastasia. We will be reflecting upon it during the course of the day, but it is very clear there are those who are unhappy, in particular France and Germany, and President Donald Trump has been exercising what he likes to do, at what he has been absolutely excellent. It is self-aggrandizement, but also a degree of consequentiality and importance for the sake of greater good of human civilization. After all, he believes that the world was on fire a year ago, and the world, our globe, is much better place, primarily thanks to him.